LeBron James is insane. LeBron just dropped 40 points on the second night of a back-to-back at 40 years old. Let that sink in. 40 years old, and he's still doing this at an elite level. 14 made shots on 24 attempts, 4 threes on 8 tries, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. He's not just scoring, he's controlling the game in every way. Nobody should be able to do this at this stage in their career, but LeBron, he's built different. People keep trying to push the idea that he's got to slow down. But where's the proof? He's not just playing well for his age, he's dominating. The Lakers have only lost once without their co-star this season. And LeBron's the reason why. Without his running mate, he's averaging almost 34 points per game on an absolutely ridiculous 70% true shooting. That is just unfair. He's also grabbing 8 rebounds and dishing out over 8 assists. And it's not like the team is struggling without their second star. They've won 7 of those 8 games. LeBron is still running the show, and it's obvious. And the craziest part, people are acting like he has to take a back seat now. But let's be real, LeBron is still a top 10 player in the league, no doubt. There are only a handful of guys on the planet who can put up these numbers and lead a team like this, and he's one of them. He can still be the best player on a championship team. And if anyone disagrees, they just aren't watching the games. And then there's the history he's making. He just became the first player in NBA history to have multiple 40-point games at 40 years old. That's insane. Michael Jordan did it once at 40, and he's the only other guy to ever do it. LeBron, he's already done it twice. That's legendary stuff, and what he's doing in February is just ridiculous. He's putting up nearly 30 points a game while averaging over 9 rebounds and 8 assists, shooting 54% from the field, 47% from 3, 76% from the free throw line, and rocking 66% true shooting. Those are elite efficiency numbers. Those are prime numbers. But somehow, he's putting them up at an age where most guys are retired or playing reduced roles. Not LeBron. He's still out here playing like one of the best in the league. And here's the most mind-blowing stat of them all. He's had more games scoring over 40 than scoring under 20 in the last month. That is ridiculous. How does that even happen? He's not just avoiding bad games. He's turning in elite performances night after night. He's scoring at a level that guys in their 20s can't even reach consistently. And he's doing it while leading a team that just keeps winning when he's in charge. LeBron is a machine, 40 years old, still dominant, still efficient, still making history, and still proving every single doubter wrong. And I think people might still not understand how great he's been this season. And it gets pretty obvious if you look at the advanced numbers. Let's start with scoring. LeBron is scoring at an elite level this season, and the numbers prove it. He's averaging 24.7 points per game, which puts him ahead of 96% of players in the league. That means only 4% of NBA players are scoring more than him, and he's doing this deep into his career. His effective field goal percentage is 57.9%, meaning he's scoring more efficiently than 78% of the league. Effective field goal percentage accounts for the added value of three-pointers, and at nearly 58%, he's maintaining elite efficiency while balancing inside and outside scoring. His true shooting percentage, which factors in all shot attempts including free throws, is at 60.7%. That's an elite mark for any high-volume scorer. He's attempting 18.3 shots per game and still maintaining an efficiency level that ranks among the best in the NBA. Breaking it down further, he's averaging 1.2 points per field goal attempt. That means every time he takes a shot, he's generating high-value offense. Most players who take high shot volumes see their efficiency drop, but LeBron is maintaining efficiency while putting up nearly 20 field goal attempts per game. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, LeBron. His scoring breakdown shows he's hitting 7.1 two-pointers per game while making 2.3 three-pointers. That means nearly 30% of his makes come from beyond the arc, yet he's still efficient at the rim and in the mid-range. He's also getting to the free throw line 4.5 times per game, which adds even more to his scoring efficiency. His ability to generate points from multiple areas makes him one of the most well-rounded scorers in the league. His total points per scoring attempt sits at 1.2, meaning he's scoring efficiently, regardless of shot type. His ability to maintain high efficiency while taking a significant number of attempts makes him one of the most dangerous scorers in the league. His scoring efficiency ranks above 78% of players in every key advanced shooting metric. That includes points per game, effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, and points per scoring attempt. Even with a balanced mix of two-pointers and three-pointers, he's maintaining elite efficiency. Players who take a high number of three-pointers typically see their two-point efficiency drop, but he's maintaining efficiency in both areas. His field goal attempts per game are 18.3, meaning he's taking a significant number of shots while staying efficient. Many high-volume scorers see a dip in efficiency when taking this many attempts, but his true shooting percentage and effective field goal percentage remain at elite levels. His ability to balance inside scoring with perimeter shooting is reflected in his shooting percentages. His effective field goal percentage accounts for the added value of threes, yet his numbers remain above 78% of the league. His true shooting percentage of 60.7% is one of the most important indicators of his efficiency. True shooting percentage considers all scoring attempts, and at over 60%, he's producing high-value scoring opportunities on a consistent basis. His field goal percentage remains high despite taking difficult shots. Many players with high effective field goal percentages rely on catch-and-shoot opportunities or easy baskets, but he's creating his own offense while staying efficient. At 24.7 points per game, he's scoring at a level higher than 96% of the league while maintaining efficiency. That combination of volume and efficiency is rare. Most high-volume scorers trade efficiency for scoring, but his numbers show that he's excelling in both areas. His ability to score efficiently is reflected in his shooting percentages across all areas. His points per field goal attempt sit at 1.2, which means he's generating offense every time he shoots. Looking at his shot selection, he's hitting over 7 2-pointers per game while making over 2 3-pointers per game. That balance keeps defenses guessing, and his efficiency in both areas proves his shot selection is optimal. His free throw attempts per game sit at 4.5, which adds another layer to his scoring efficiency. Even without taking an extremely high number of free throws, he's still maximizing his scoring output with efficient shot attempts. His ability to score efficiently in different situations is reflected in his overall efficiency metrics. His true shooting percentage, effective field goal percentage, and points per field goal attempt all rank among the highest in the league for high-volume scorers. His shot attempts per game show that he's a primary scorer, yet his efficiency levels match those of the most selective shooters in the league. Many high-volume scorers see their percentages drop, but his numbers remain elite. His ability to maintain efficiency while taking a high number of shots is one of the most important aspects of his scoring profile. Many players with similar volume have significantly lower efficiency numbers, but his percentages remain at elite levels. His field goal percentage and true shooting percentage show that he's one of the most efficient high-volume scorers in the league. His ability to maintain efficiency while taking nearly 20 shots per game is a rare combination. His true shooting percentage of 60.7% means he's scoring efficiently from all areas of the floor. Whether he's attacking the rim, shooting from mid-range, or taking threes, his scoring efficiency remains high. His points per game rank in the top 4% of the league, proving that he's not only efficient, but also one of the highest scoring players. That combination of scoring volume and efficiency is rare, especially for players taking as many shots as he does. His ability to score efficiently while taking a significant number of attempts makes him one of the most effective offensive players in the league. Many players with high shot attempts see a drop in efficiency, but his numbers remain at an elite level. His ability to maintain efficiency in both 2-point and 3-point shooting shows that he's one of the most well-rounded scorers. His effective field goal percentage takes 3-pointers into account, yet his overall efficiency remains above 78% of the league. His true shooting percentage and effective field goal percentage show that he's one of the best high-volume scorers in the league. He's taking a significant number of shots while maintaining elite efficiency, which is rare for a primary scorer. His scoring efficiency ranks in the top percentage of the league, proving that he's still one of the most effective offensive players in the NBA. His ability to score efficiently while taking a high number of shots sets him apart from other players. His true shooting percentage shows that he's maximizing every scoring opportunity. Many players with high shot attempts have lower efficiency, but his numbers remain among the best in the league. His ability to balance inside scoring with perimeter shooting while maintaining efficiency is one of the most impressive aspects of his game. Many players either focus on 3-pointers or inside scoring, but he's excelling in both areas. His ability to score efficiently while taking nearly 20 shots per game shows that he's one of the best offensive players in the league. Many players struggle to maintain efficiency at that volume, but his numbers remain at an elite level. His ability to maintain elite efficiency while scoring at a high level puts him among the best offensive players in the league. His numbers prove that he's still one of the most dominant scorers in the NBA. But the thing is, he's an even better passer. LeBron's ball handling numbers this season are at an elite level, ranking him above nearly the entire league. His ball handling rating sits at 99%, meaning he's better than 99% of all NBA players in that category. This metric takes into account his ability to control the ball, create plays, and minimize mistakes, making him one of the most reliable handlers in the league. His passing numbers are just as impressive. He's averaging 8.9 assists per game, which puts him in the top 1% of all players. That means he's facilitating offense at a higher level than almost every other player in the NBA. His assists per game directly translate to points, as he's assisting on an estimated 21.1 points per game for his teammates. His assist percentage is an absurd 43.26%. That means while he's on the floor, he's assisting on over 43% of his team's made field goals. That number is among the highest in the league and places him in the top 1% of all players. This percentage proves that he's not just scoring at an elite level, but also creating offense at a historic rate. His turnover numbers are also strong, considering his high usage. He's averaging 3.9 turnovers per game, but when compared to his total actions, his turnover percentage sits at 11.87%. That means for every 100 actions he takes that conclude a play, including scoring attempts or turnovers, he's only turning the ball over around 12 times. That places him in the top 73% of players, meaning he has a lower turnover percentage than nearly 3/4 of the league, despite handling the ball as much as he does. Looking at his total playmaking output, he's averaging 20.3 scoring attempts per game, which includes shots and turnovers. This means that while he's heavily involved in the offense, his turnover rate remains controlled. Many players with similar usage rates have significantly higher turnover percentages, but LeBron is still one of the most efficient, high-volume ball handlers in the league. His ability to control the ball while maintaining efficiency in both scoring and playmaking is reflected in these numbers. His assist rate of over 43% shows that nearly half of his team's made field goals when he's on the court come directly from his passing. This ranks him in the top 1% of the league, showing just how much of an impact he has as a facilitator. His turnover percentage of 11.87% is a key indicator of his ability to take care of the ball. Many high-usage players struggle with turnovers, but his ability to keep his mistakes low while running the offense is elite. He's turning the ball over less frequently than nearly 3/4 of the league, despite being the primary creator for his team. His assists per game rank in the top 1% of the league. At 8.9 assists per game, he's creating over 21 points per game for his teammates. This means his passing alone is generating elite levels of production, on top of his scoring ability. His turnover rate remains low relative to his overall playmaking volume. At 11.87%, he's limiting his mistakes while creating an extremely high number of offensive opportunities. Many players who handle the ball this much see a significant dip in efficiency due to turnover, but his numbers remain elite. His total scoring attempts per game, which includes shots and turnovers, sits at 20.3. That means he's making a decision to either pass, shoot, or turn the ball over 20 times per game. Despite that volume, his efficiency in both scoring and passing remains among the best in the league. His ball handling ability, ranking at 99%, shows that he's one of the best in the NBA at controlling possessions. This metric takes into account his ability to navigate defenses, avoid mistakes, and create opportunities, all of which place him at the absolute top of the league. His assist percentage of over 43% means that for nearly every other basket his team makes while he's on the floor, he's the one setting it up. That kind of playmaking dominance is rarely seen, especially from a player who is also scoring at such a high level. His ability to limit turnovers while handling the ball as much as he does is reflected in his turnover percentage. At 11.87%, he's keeping his mistakes to a minimum while still facilitating the offense at a high level. Many players with similar usage rates have much higher turnover percentages, making his numbers even more impressive. His total offensive impact is reflected in his points assisted per game. At 21.1 points per game generated through passing, he's one of the most effective playmakers in the league. This number shows how much he's contributing to his team's success, beyond just his own scoring. His scoring attempts per game at 20.3 show just how involved he is in the offense. He's making decisions on nearly every possession, whether it's shooting, passing, or handling the ball under pressure. Despite this high level of involvement, his efficiency remains among the best in the league. His ability to generate offense through both passing and scoring is reflected in his advanced playmaking metrics. His assist percentage ranks in the top 1% of the league, proving that he's one of the most impactful facilitators in basketball. His turnover percentage remains low, despite his high usage. At 11.87%, he's taking care of the ball better than nearly 73% of players in the league, even while running his team's offense. His overall ball handling ability is reflected in his ranking of 99%. That means he's better than nearly every player in the NBA at controlling the ball, avoiding mistakes, and creating plays. His assist percentage of over 43% shows just how much his team relies on him to create offense. Nearly half of their made shots while he's on the floor come directly from his passing. His ability to limit turnovers while being the primary ball handler is proven by his turnover percentage. At 11.87%, he's keeping his mistakes minimal despite constantly creating plays. His total scoring attempts per game sit at 20.3, meaning he's making plays every single possession. Whether he's passing, shooting, or creating offense, he's impacting the game at a high level every time he touches the ball. His points assisted per game at 21.1 further prove his impact. He's not just generating his own offense, he's setting up his teammates for success at an elite level. His combination of playmaking and ball security is reflected in every key metric. His assist percentage ranks in the top 1% of the league, while his turnover percentage is lower than nearly 3/4 of the NBA. His ability to balance scoring, passing, and ball security makes him one of the most complete playmakers in the game. His ranking of 99% in ball handling ability confirms that he's among the best in the league at controlling the offense. His total offensive impact can be measured by both his assists and his efficiency in handling the ball. His assist percentage is among the highest in the league, while his turnover percentage remains controlled. Despite his high volume of touches, his ability to handle the ball, facilitate the offense, and limit mistakes is reflected in every advanced playmaking metric. He's passing at an elite level, scoring efficiently, and keeping turnovers low, making him one of the most effective playmakers in the league. His numbers prove that he's still one of the most dominant facilitators in basketball. His assist rate, turnover control, and overall efficiency place him among the best playmakers in the NBA. And the thing is, his defensive numbers are solid too. LeBron's defensive numbers this season place him among the top defenders in the league. His mixed team defense ranking sits at 80%, meaning he is preventing opposing teams from scoring at a higher rate than 80% of all players. This ranking accounts for both individual defense and overall team defensive impact, showing that his presence on the floor directly contributes to his team's ability to limit opponents' scoring. His steal numbers reflect his ability to disrupt opposing offenses. He is averaging 0.9 steals per game, which places him above a significant percentage of players in the league. Steals directly impact defensive efficiency by creating transition opportunities and stopping opponents from setting up their offense. His ability to generate steals while also playing strong individual defense contributes to his overall defensive ranking. His block numbers add another layer to his defensive impact. He is averaging 0.5 blocks per game, meaning he is protecting the rim while also guarding perimeter players. Blocks prevent opponents from scoring directly, forcing them to adjust their shots or avoid attacking when he is defending the basket. His defensive rebounding numbers are among the best at his position. He is averaging 6.9 defensive rebounds per game, which ranks among the highest for non-centers. Defensive rebounds are crucial because they prevent second chance points and allow the team to transition into offense. His ability to consistently secure defensive rebounds ensures that his team limits opponents' opportunities to score. His team's defensive efficiency rating sits at 114.9. showing how well his team defends when he is on the floor. A lower defensive efficiency number means fewer points allowed per 100 possessions, and his presence contributes significantly to keeping that number in check. His mixed team defense ranking at 80% shows that he is one of the best defenders in the league when factoring in both team and individual defense. His ability to prevent opponents from scoring is reflected in this metric, proving his impact on both ends of the floor. His steal rate of 0.9 per game ranks among the better perimeter defenders in the league. Steals are a key indicator of defensive disruption, and his ability to generate nearly 1 per game adds value to his defensive presence. His block rate of 0.5 per game further showcases his defensive versatility. He is protecting the rim while also defending perimeter players, preventing easy baskets at multiple levels. Many players who contribute in both steals and blocks are among the most impactful defenders in the NBA, and his ability to do both highlights his effectiveness. His defensive rebounding numbers are elite for his position. At 6.9 defensive rebounds per game, he is preventing second chance points and limiting opponents' scoring opportunity. Defensive rebounding is one of the most critical aspects of overall defensive performance, and his numbers prove that he is excelling in that area. His team's defensive efficiency of 114.9 means that when he is on the floor, his team is preventing opponents from scoring efficiently. A lower defensive efficiency rating correlates to better defensive impact, and his presence on the court directly contributes to that number. His ability to limit opponent scoring while also contributing to defensive rebounding and rim protection makes him one of the most effective defensive players in the league. His mixed team defense ranking confirms that he is in the top tier of defenders, making an impact on both individual and team defense. His steal numbers show that he is still an active defender on the perimeter. At 0.9 steals per game, he is disrupting passing lanes and preventing opponents from getting easy scoring opportunities. Steals are one of the most direct ways to create transition opportunity, and his ability to generate them helps his team on both ends of the floor. His block numbers further support his defensive versatility. At 0.5 blocks per game, he is challenging shots at the rim and making opponents think twice before attacking the basket. Even players who do not block many shots still have an impact by altering opponents' attempts, and his numbers show that he is a factor in that area. His defensive rebounding at 6.9 per game is among the best in the league for his position. Defensive rebounding eliminates second chance opportunities, which are one of the primary ways teams generate extra points. His ability to consistently secure rebounds ensures that opponents do not get additional scoring chances. His team's defensive efficiency rating of 114.9 shows that his presence on the floor improves his team's overall defensive performance. A lower defensive efficiency number means fewer points allowed per 100 possessions, and his ability to contribute in multiple defensive areas plays a key role in that. His mixed team defense ranking of 80% means that he is better at preventing scoring than the majority of the league. This metric considers both individual and team defense, meaning he is making an impact beyond just his own matchups. His steal numbers continue to show his defensive disruption. At nearly 1 steal per game, he is forcing turnovers and preventing opponents from setting up their offense. Turnovers are one of the most effective ways to limit an opponent's scoring output, and his ability to generate steals helps control the pace of the game. His block numbers at 0.5 per game reinforce his ability to defend multiple positions. Whether he is guarding perimeter players or protecting the paint, his shot blocking ability adds another layer to his defensive impact. His defensive rebounding at 6.9 per game shows his ability to secure possessions and eliminate second chance points. Rebounding is one of the most important aspects of defense, and his numbers prove that he is excelling in that area. His team's defensive efficiency of 114.9 shows that his presence on the floor directly improves his team's ability to limit opponent scoring. The lower this number, the better the team defense, and his contributions help keep that rating down. His overall defensive numbers show that he is still one of the best defenders in the league. His mixed team defense ranking, steal rate, block numbers, and defensive rebounding all point to his ability to prevent scoring and secure possessions. His steal numbers continue to show his ability to disrupt opposing offenses. At 0.9 steals per game, he is among the better perimeter defenders in the league, forcing turnovers and creating transition opportunities. His block numbers remain strong at 0.5 per game, proving that he is challenging shots and preventing easy scoring opportunities. Shot blocking is one of the most important aspects of rim protection, and his numbers show that he is making an impact in that area. His defensive rebounding numbers remain elite for his position. At 6.9 defensive rebounds per game, he is preventing second chance points and securing possessions for his team. Defensive rebounding directly affects team defense, and his ability to consistently grab boards makes him a key piece of his team's success. His team's defensive efficiency of 114.9 continues to show that his presence on the court leads to improved defensive performance. A lower defensive efficiency number correlates with better team defense, and his numbers show that he is contributing in multiple areas to make that happen. His mixed team defense ranking of 80% means that he is better than the vast majority of NBA players in terms of defensive impact. This ranking factors in both individual defense and team performance, showing that he is making a difference on both levels. His steal numbers, block numbers, defensive rebounding, and team defensive efficiency all point to one conclusion. He remains one of the most impactful defenders in the league. His ability to prevent scoring, force turnovers, secure rebounds, and contribute to overall team defense makes him an elite defensive player. And like every year, he's an amazing rebounder. LeBron's rebounding numbers this season place him among the most effective rebounders in the league. He is averaging 7.7 rebounds per game, which ranks him higher than 80% of all players. This metric includes both offensive and defensive rebounds, showing his overall ability to secure possessions for his team. His defensive rebounding is a major part of his game, as he is grabbing 6.9 defensive rebounds per game. This ranks him in the top percentage of all NBA players and proves that he is one of the most effective players at preventing second-chance opportunities for opponents. Defensive rebounds are crucial in limiting opponents' scoring chances, and his ability to secure nearly 7 per game ensures that his team is minimizing extra possessions for the opposition. His offensive rebounding numbers show that while he is primarily a defensive rebounder, he still contributes to second chance opportunities for his team. He is averaging 0.9 offensive rebounds per game, ranking higher than 31% of all players. Offensive rebounds create additional scoring opportunities, and even though he is not among the league leaders in this category, he is still making an impact on the offensive glass. His offensive rebound percentage is 2.56%, meaning he is securing 2.56% of all available offensive rebounds while he is on the floor. This percentage ranks him above 31% of all players, showing that while he is not a primary offensive rebounder, he still finds ways to contribute in that area. His defensive rebound percentage is much higher, sitting at 19.27%. This means that while he is on the floor, he is securing nearly 20% of all available defensive rebounds. This ranks him higher than 83% of all players in the league. Defensive rebound percentage is one of the most important metrics for measuring rebounding impact, and his ability to secure nearly 1 out of every 5 available defensive rebounds makes him one of the most reliable defensive rebounders in the NBA. His overall rebounding efficiency is shown in his 7.7 rebounds per game. This total includes both offensive and defensive rebounds, and the fact that he ranks above 80% of players in total rebounding proves that he is one of the most effective rebounders in the league. His defensive rebounding impact is even more significant when looking at his ranking among all players. At 6.9 defensive rebounds per game, he is outperforming the majority of NBA players in securing missed shots. Defensive rebounds are one of the most important aspects of overall team defense, and his ability to grab nearly 7 per game ensures that opponents are not getting easy second chance opportunities. His offensive rebounding numbers, while lower than his defensive rebounding numbers, still show his ability to contribute to extra possessions. At 0.9 offensive rebounds per game, he is still ranking above 31% of the league, meaning he is grabbing offensive boards at a higher rate than nearly a third of NBA players. His offensive rebound percentage of 2.56% shows how frequently he is able to secure second chance opportunities while on the floor. This percentage may not be among the highest in the league, but it still shows that he is making an effort to extend possessions. His defensive rebound percentage of 19.27% highlights his ability to control the glass on the defensive end. This percentage means that nearly 1 out of every 5 available defensive rebounds ends up in his hands, ranking him above 83% of all players in the league. His rebounding efficiency is shown in his ability to consistently grab both offensive and defensive boards while playing a significant role on the floor. His total rebounding numbers put him in the top tier of the league, while his defensive rebounding numbers place him among the most effective rebounders at his position. His 7.7 rebounds per game rank him above 80% of the league, meaning only a small percentage of players are securing more total rebounds than him. This statistic is a clear indicator of his ability to control possessions on both ends of the floor. His defensive rebounding at 6.9 per game is one of the most important aspects of his overall rebounding ability. Defensive rebounds prevent opponents from scoring second chance points and allow his team to transition into offense. The fact that he ranks above 83% of the league in defensive rebounding percentage proves that he is one of the most consistent rebounders in this area. His offensive rebounding, while not as high as his defensive rebounding, still contributes to his team's ability to create second chance opportunities. At 0.9 offensive rebounds per game, he is securing additional possessions at a higher rate than 31% of players in the NBA. His offensive rebound percentage of 2.56% means he is securing a small but impactful number of offensive rebounds while he is on the floor. Offensive rebounds can often lead to easy baskets, and his ability to grab them adds another dimension to his game. His defensive rebound percentage of 19.27% is one of the most telling statistics about his rebounding ability. It means that he is securing nearly 1/5 of all available defensive rebounds while he is on the floor, ranking him above 83% of the league in this category. His rebounding efficiency continues to be one of his strongest attributes. His total rebounding numbers rank him in the top percentage of the league, while his defensive rebounding numbers put him among the most effective players at his position. His ability to secure defensive rebounds at 6.9 per game is one of the most important aspects of his game. Rebounding is crucial to limiting second chance points, and his numbers show that he is preventing opponents from getting additional opportunities to score. His offensive rebounding, while not at an elite level, still adds value to his game. At 0.9 offensive rebounds per game, he is still ranking above 31% of the league in grabbing extra possessions for his team. His offensive rebound percentage of 2.56% means that he is securing a small but important number of second chance opportunities for his team. Offensive rebounding is a key aspect of team success, and even though his numbers are not among the highest, they still contribute to his team's ability to score. His defensive rebounding impact is shown in his 19.27 defensive rebound percentage. This number puts him in the top tier of defensive rebounders, meaning he is consistently securing missed shots and preventing second chance opportunities for opponents. His total rebounding numbers continue to be among the best in the league. His 7.7 rebounds per game put him in the top 20% of all players, proving that he is one of the most reliable rebounders in the NBA. His ability to secure defensive rebounds at a high rate is one of the most important aspects of his game. At 6.9 per game, he is preventing second chance points and allowing his team to transition into offense, making him one of the most impactful defensive rebounders in the league. His offensive rebounding at 0.9 per game still adds value to his game. While not among the highest in the league, it still ranks him above 31% of all players, meaning he is contributing in multiple ways on the glass. His offensive rebound percentage of 2.56% shows that while he is primarily a defensive rebounder, he is still making an effort to secure second chance points when possible. His defensive rebound percentage of 19.27% is one of the best in the league, securing nearly 1 out of every 5 available defensive rebounds while he is on the floor, places him among the most effective rebounders in the NBA. His total rebounding ability continues to be one of his strengths. His numbers prove that he is one of the most consistent rebounders in the league, ranking above 80% of players in total rebounding and 83% in defensive rebounding percentage. But lastly, I want to talk about his usage. LeBron's usage numbers this season place him among the highest volume offensive players in the league. His usage rate sits at 30.5%, ranking him above 96% of all players. Usage rate measures the percentage of a team's offensive plays that conclude with an action by the player, whether that be a field goal attempt, free throw attempt, assist, or turnover. His number indicates that nearly 1/3 of his team's offensive possessions end with him making a play. His total actions taken per game further illustrate his offensive workload. He is attempting 18.3 field goals per game, showing that he is consistently taking a high volume of shots. This number places him among the most aggressive scorers in the league. His free throw attempts per game sit at 4.5, meaning he is also generating scoring opportunities at the line. Free throws are a critical part of scoring efficiency, and his ability to get to the line multiple times per game adds to his overall offensive impact. His playmaking responsibilities are reflected in his 8.9 assists per game. Assists are included in usage rate because they contribute to the conclusion of an offensive possession, and his assist numbers prove that he is not just creating shots for himself, but also for his teammates at a high level. His turnover numbers are also a key part of his overall offensive usage. He is averaging 3.9 turnovers per game, meaning that even with his high usage, his mistake rate remains controlled. Players with similar usage rates often see higher turnover numbers, but his ability to manage possessions efficiently keeps his team's offense running smoothly. His total number of possessions played per game sits at 71.5. This number represents the total number of times he is directly involved in an offensive sequence per game, whether through shooting, passing, drawing fouls, or turning the ball over. His 71.5 possessions per game show that he is one of the most involved players in the league when it comes to offensive execution. His usage rate of 30.5% means he is handling a larger offensive workload than almost the entire NBA. Only 4% of players have a higher usage rate, proving that he remains a central figure in his team's offensive scheme. His field goal attempts per game at 18.3 show that he is among the most active shooters in the league. High-volume shooters are often the focal point of an offense, and his numbers reflect his ability to generate consistent scoring opportunities. His free throw attempts per game at 4.5 further illustrate his offensive involvement. Getting to the line regularly increases a player's efficiency, and his ability to draw fouls and convert free throws remains an important part of his game. His 8.9 assists per game prove that he is not just scoring, but also facilitating at an elite level. His assist total ranks him among the league's best playmakers and adds to his overall offensive value. His turnover numbers at 3.9 per game show that while he is handling the ball at a high rate, he is still maintaining control. Many players with similar usage rates have significantly higher turnover numbers, making his ability to limit mistakes even more impressive. His total possessions played at 71.5 per game indicate just how involved he is in the flow of the game. Few players are as active on offense as he is, and his ability to maintain efficiency at such a high level of involvement is rare. His usage rate of 30.5% remains one of the most important indicators of his role in his team's offense. A usage rate this high is typically reserved for primary scorers and playmakers, and his ability to maintain efficiency with this level of involvement places him among the best offensive players in the league. His field goal attempts per game show that he is consistently looking to create scoring opportunities. At 18.3 attempts per game, he is one of the most frequent shooters in the NBA, meaning his team relies on him heavily for offensive production. His free throw attempts per game indicate that he is not just taking shots, but also forcing defenders into difficult situations. At 4.5 free throw attempts per game, he is drawing fouls at a consistent rate, allowing him to add efficient points to his scoring total. His 8.9 assists per game show that he is also one of the best facilitators in the league. Few players can balance scoring and passing at this level, and his assist numbers prove that he is creating offense for his teammates just as often as he is for himself. His turnover numbers remain relatively low considering his offensive workload. At 3.9 turnovers per game, he is making the most of his possessions while limiting mistakes. High usage players often struggle with turnover, but his numbers show that he remains efficient despite handling the ball as much as he does. His total possessions played per game at 71.5 further highlights his overall impact. He is involved in more offensive plays than almost every other player in the league, making him one of the most active offensive players in basketball. His usage rate continues to place him among the most high-volume offensive players in the league. At 30.5%, he is handling a larger percentage of his team's offensive plays than nearly every other player in the NBA. His ability to maintain efficiency while taking a high number of shots is reflected in his 18.3 field goal attempts per game. Many players with similar shot attempts struggle with efficiency, but his ability to remain consistent keeps him among the top scorers in the league. His free throw attempts per game show that he is also creating high-value scoring opportunities. At 4.5 free throws per game, he is taking advantage of defenders who cannot stop him without fouling, adding another dimension to his scoring. His assist numbers prove that he is one of the best playmakers in basketball. At 8.9 assists per game, he is directly responsible for creating a significant number of his team's baskets, further increasing his overall offensive value. His turnover rate remains controlled, even with a high usage rate. At 3.9 turnovers per game, he is maintaining ball security better than many other high-usage players, keeping his team's offense running smoothly. His 71.5 possessions played per game show that he is more involved in offensive execution than almost anyone in the league. Few players play this large of a role in their team's offense while maintaining such a high level of production. His usage rate at 30.5% means he is directly responsible for nearly 1/3 of his team's offensive plays. This number alone proves that he remains one of the most impactful offensive players in the game. His field goal attempts at 18.3 per game further illustrate how frequently he is taking shots, making him one of the most relied upon scorers in the league. His free throw attempts at 4.5 per game show that he is not just taking jump shots, but also forcing defenses to foul him, creating efficient scoring opportunities. His assist numbers continue to highlight his role as a facilitator. At 8.9 assists per game, he is distributing the ball at an elite level, setting up teammates for high-quality shots. His turnovers remain manageable, given his workload. At 3.9 turnovers per game, he is maintaining control despite handling the ball more than almost anyone in the league. His total possessions played at 71.5 per game show that he remains one of the most active offensive players in basketball. His involvement in both scoring and playmaking makes him one of the most impactful players in the NBA. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.